What's up? What's happening? I am back. I am back. I said I was coming back to finish talking about some stuff, and I completely forgot talking about in detail about what PlayStation was doing with the new PlayStation Slim. And that's unfortunate because I want to talk about the PlayStation 30 year anniversary. And I just wanted to talk nothing but positive, just be positive about PlayStation today. But I got to cook them about that PlayStation Slim. So I'll probably talk about that first to get that out the way since I missed it yesterday. Apologies. What's crack-a-lackin', Ocular? What's happening with Ocular? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Nothing, just coming in here. I was wanted to finish up talking about some stuff that I missed, and also this Nintendo thing that is just mind blowing. And then also something that I seen this, and then I just it kind of crossed my mind about what was going on with the whole clickbait situation, so we're just going to have a little fun talk today. Also, before I get started, my apologies. I did not stream last night, but I have another legitimate reason why. So, second row, I apologize. If you was looking for me, my wife's mother, best friend, and so how it's connected to my wife is because she helped her teach her how to cook and everything. I mean, like, she's known her all her life, and she's really sick, and they don't think that she's going to make it. So, that's why my wife and my mother-in-law is at the hospital with Leslie, and so pray for her. Have a peaceful journey, because it doesn't seem like she's going to come out of it. And so my wife was really distraught. So I stayed talking to her, and she normally has a pretty routine schedule when she likes to go to bed at a certain time, but she stayed up until like almost 1 o'clock this morning. So I just was like, hey man, just talking, hanging out, so that was the thing, got to be a good husband. Try to be anyway. So, but anyway, so that's why I didn't stream last night. I had it all figured. I didn't hear anything from Sekiro, so I was like, oh, maybe I could sneak in some Hell Divers, but it didn't happen. So we'll see if I can stream tonight. Anyway, let's get to it. I just don't know what I want to start off with first. I think I'm going to start off with just get it out the way, talking about, because I missed it yesterday, talking about the PlayStation Slim and that craziness right there. Anyway, so like Sony has reduced the SSD storage of the PS5 Slim from 1 terabyte to 825 gigabytes in Europe for upcoming Slim models. Now, they just said Europe. Don't know or don't think that that's going to be coming to the U.S. Thank you so much, Preston. Appreciate it, guys. But it was just basically what I was bringing up yesterday, talking about like these corporations, man, and how they kind of treat their customers this gen, man. This is so unprecedented to see seeing consoles still at the prices that they are at. As a matter of fact, they raised the prices. Normally we would be having the Series X and the PlayStation 5 at least at 250, 300 at the max. And we're talking about like they're more expensive than what they were when we bought them day one. And so that definitely hurts new adopters, people who has held on to their PlayStation 4 and they're ready to make the move. I mean, that's not going to attract people to get them to want to jump in and get into this gen of hardware. And I've seen something from there was a clip. I didn't see all of the interview from Hip Hop Gamer talking to Sean Layton, and it was basically in the clip, Sean Layton said that gaming will not thrive unless they get rid of the old consoles. See, again, 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 don't get it. I just don't think whatever they see something. I'm not saying that Sean Layden is not a smart man or anybody else who has any um has this type of thought process to saying that they're not intelligent. I'm not saying that whatsoever. The man was a CEO of a company of a multi-billionaire company. He has the chops. But I just think that they're way behind the times on the strategy of what's going on here. This, I'm looking at it from my other screen right here. This one I'm looking at right here is that's not winning anybody, especially when you're in Europe. Europe has the most PCs from anybody in the West. I'm from the data that was from last gen. I don't know what the data is now, but I'm sure that there's more people in Europe that plays on PC than they do consoles. So therefore, you're telling me that for the people who wanted a PlayStation 5, they got to get less? When they could just go ahead and just maybe get their PC, upgraded. Just save a little bit of money and just get the SSD that you want. A 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, however big you want to spend. Are you kidding me? I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't. Let me sit there and read from what Oculus saying. And you know what? And I missed a super chat yesterday from Raichi, and I apologize for that. I did read what he said, but I missed it that it was a super chat. But I apologize for that from yesterday. Oculus fan says it's just game after game after game. Series X has outperformed PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro 10 months in. And I repeat, Series X wasn't like this 10 months ago, I guess in a row or 10 months ago. In the but everybody enjoys the sales from the PlayStation. Listen. I mean, the whole sales talk is really becoming more and more irrelevant as we get into this new era of non-exclusives. So it's like, who cares? It hasn't stopped Xbox. So again, Xbox has been in third place, second place. It's not stopping Xbox. Xbox is not going away unless, like I said before, Microsoft is going to be the one to make the decision if Xbox goes away. It's not going to be PlayStation. PlayStation had their chance and it's over with. It's not happening now. But back to the point of this, just this whole thing about the storage and just the mindset of some of these people, these former people that think that the old ways are going to change something. Yeah, like gaming. Read the room, people. It's like I said yesterday. Read the room. Read the room. Gamers aren't buying games at the clip that they did last gen. Now, their thought process was, well, because it was isolated. Like you couldn't play PlayStation 3 games on your PlayStation 4. That's the thought process from them. That's not the case. The case is that you keep raising prices on stuff. A console, the PlayStation Slim should be around $250. It should be around $250 right now. $250. And so that right there is going to bring in a lot of attention because of the fact that because the PlayStation 5 regular should be $300. The PlayStation Pro should be $400, $450. Now you're cooking. But no, the Xbox raised their console up $50. PlayStation raised theirs up for $50. That's crazy. That's nuts. And the PlayStation Pro is what, $600? Yeah, man, no. It don't make any sense. That's what's hurting gaming. It's not because of backwards compatibility or that's what makes PC so great. Is the option to have games that you have and bring them to the table when you have a new, they come with you when you have a new iteration. That because then you have those upgrades of you get upgraded graphics, you get you get those enhancements. No, that doesn't matter. Like again, how does that doesn't matter? Like I mean, we talk about old games all the time. We all of us do. Hell, there's people that sit here and just will completely shit on this generation of games. They just absolutely hate this generation. Now, I'm nowhere near that. I think we've had some fabulous games this generation. But we've also had some lame ducks, but that's with every generation. There's the worst game that I've ever played was a biker game. I've talked about it before on the 360. Awful. That was the worst game I ever played in my life. So it's not like the 360, which was to me is one of my favorite consoles of all time. But absolutely not. No, this generation has had a fantastic output of games. It just don't make any sense to want to get people to want to try to isolate this whole isolation thing of where you just lock things in a box, let them hold on to their old stuff. No, that's not how most gamers game. They want them to trade in the old console, buy a new console. The new console is going to cost $600, $700, $800. And then restart the process again of buying games that they already own. Because you know what Sony's going to do. Sony's going to go ahead and do what they've been doing this whole generation, is reintroducing you to the same games. See, and how he's saying it is like, well, we'll just charge you $10 if you bought the old game. No, that you can get away with it, but it still doesn't make it right. Why not? Can't we just bring our old library of games with us, buy the new console, and then keep it moving? It isn't because of the reason why people hold on to these the old consoles is because of the fact that they don't want to pay the money that they're seeing with these new consoles, with these current gen consoles. They're just not wanting to do it. If there's somebody today that does not have a PlayStation 5 or a Series X and they are considering getting one, they're holding off because they're waiting for the price to drop. I've known plenty of gamers like that. They wait around 2 years, 3 years, and then they're like, oh, okay, it's at the price range they want. Well, it ain't happening this generation. So you can't sit here and say this, that, and the third. And somebody will come out and say, well, there's 80 million consoles and it might surpass the PlayStation 4. No, it's not. It's not going to surpass the PlayStation 4. It's not. It's not. The only way it will surpass the PlayStation 4 is if the generation is longer. Now, I could stand corrected because, hold on, maybe I have to retract that. It could. Hold on, let me retract that. Because it could. Because if there are gamers that have not switched over from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, they're waiting for the price to drop. And so there will be an uptick. But if PlayStation takes the idea of Sean Layton and say, nah, we're cutting the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 gamers off for PlayStation 6, then you're cooked. Then gamers are just going to be like, man, I'll go somewhere else. Maybe PC, maybe Nintendo. No way. There's no way. Let me read this from Raichi. He said, how is PlayStation selling nearly the same amount of PlayStation 5s to PlayStation 4 when they don't drop the price and release jack crap? Bro, that's the thing to me that just doesn't make any sense. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. See, that's when they talk about shipped and this, that, and the third. That's that funny language. I don't I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I guarantee you, something's amiss. Something's amiss. Something's amiss. I don't know. Those numbers sound funny, but I don't know. And I don't really honestly care. They can sell 1 billion PlayStations for all I care. The thing that I'm talking about is if gamers are sitting here, if they're expecting that gamers are going to allow themselves to not have backwards compatibility, then good luck. You're killing the console market from one end. And when I get into talking about what Nintendo it might potentially do, then they're going to kill the industry, the console industry from within, from another end, which it will. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really wait to talk about that. So anyway, I just think that's crazy. I feel bad for the people in Europe. I do. Will it pass on to the gamers here in the U.S.? It might. I don't know. It would be asinine, but to still, ask for the same price, and you're cutting back on something is crazy. It's crazy. It's diabolical work. It's diabolical. You're not dropping the price of the PlayStation 5 Slim, but you're giving them less. It's nuts. I don't know. I don't know, Raichi. You could have said that a little bit, especially last gen, and from people that still trying to make some kind of point about PlayStation 5 is really been killing it with the gaming content this generation. It is not. It has been very lackluster. Very lackluster. Hold on for a second. Hey, I'm doing a stream. I'll call you back. Which one? Hoodoo? Oh, are you serious? Where at? I'm sorry, guys. I'm over here talking to my homeboys, telling me some big news while I'm streaming. But where did he get? Where did in Iowa? Okay. Anyway, let me get back on the stream. I'll call you back. All right. Bye. What? Okay. So my homeboy called me and was telling me that Charlie Kirk got popped. Somebody popped his ass. But he said in Iowa, that would be the least place that you would find somebody that wants to pop somebody. You would think that the demographic of people in Iowa would want to, not everybody, but he would have a larger base in Iowa. Now, maybe he might have the wrong state, but I'm going to get into that because I'm going to get into this whole situation with RFK talking about bringing in old tropes about video games and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, folks. Shit's about to get crazy. We in some wild times, not only in gaming, but just everything. We in some wild times. And hearing this about Charlie Kirk getting popped, that's nuts. That's not, man. Something has to be done about these guns. Listen, I'm all about the Second Amendment right, boy. I can't say I got plenty, but I'm enforcing my Second Amendment rights around me. I have guns, and I'm all for people having guns for self-defense. But there has to be some kind of it has no choice. We have no choice. It's getting ridiculous. It's nuts, man. See, these people keep thinking that is sweet out here. That there's a lot of people that's thinking that all this hate propaganda talk is just all Americans believe in that shit. No, but I don't want to see nobody get hurt behind their grifting, behind their bullshit. Now I know that Charlie Kirk believes in what he believes in, and I don't want to see I don't want to see anybody hurt by talking shit. But when you keep bringing out this hate, remember, there's people out here that we in different times, man. We in different times. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to the gaming, but that's crazy. God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's wild time. So anyway, I hope that man is I don't know what his status was, but because I wanted to hurry up and get off the phone, but that's crazy. That's crazy. So let me get back to it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all about what just with anybody with any of these companies. I mean, Xbox raising the prices to the consoles, all this stuff. I understand that there's the whole thing about, you know, the upcoming because we already going through tariffs, but I mean, that's another thing we got to think about too, going with these new consoles. I didn't even put that in perspective yesterday. So I mean, if we still having these tariff wars, then consoles is going to be even more expensive. Anyway, so let me get off that. Let me get to what I was talking about yesterday that I didn't get in full detail about, that I was talking about with in regards to the development hell that I guess that was going on. It was a controversy in China over Lost Soul Aside. So let me go ahead and show you this. Now my big head's going to be blocking some of this, but I want to show you this. Let's see. All right, so there's this, you know, the person that formerly worked there, whatever. And so like the long stuff that I showed you, I didn't want to go through all the details of everything about that. I wanted to get to the juicy stuff. So here we are. So I'm going to read this, right? And like I told you, this stuff was like in Cantonese. I believe that's the proper language. That's written there. If I'm wrong, please tell me in the chat somewhere, but I believe that's Cantonese. So anyway, so this person is saying, I'm not sure if Western media covered the game's PR disaster in China earlier this year or not. Let me see. Let me see what what Curie said. It's sad that such a thing is all or nothing, as if you go no guns or you go no guns. Your government can steamroll you at any time, right? That's it. Yeah, I do not believe in people having their guns taken away, but there has to be regulation. There has to be regulation. Mental checks. You cut the funding for people to be evaluated, and you roll back background checks. That's going to cause more problems. It does not make any sense whatsoever to, and I know that there's all types of back channels. It's not like what you would see on some TV where, you know, I mean, there's some of that where you can go in a back alley and just talk to somebody and get some heat. No, you can go. I've seen it. I've been there. You can go to gun shows. I haven't gone to a gun show in a while, but when I used to go all the time with the homies and stuff, or just like they would bring people with them and you talk to them, whatever, come right out. I know these dudes some dudes just got out, and these ain't black dudes. Some of them were, but most of them were the ones that came with us that I didn't know. These were white dudes, Latinos. Go up there, go buy a gun from the gun show. No vetting, no nothing. No vetting, no nothing. That's how that shit used to be. So when you put that pressure on and get these people to be vetted, why not? That makes sense. Why is it that you can't do that? These people that, you know, I got vetted when I bought my weapons. I got no problem with it. I got no problem with them doing a background check on me. What's the problem? Why not? And what's the scariest thing too is that some of these mass shooters, some of these people, you know, you could trace them. They have all this crazy rhetoric that they post and stuff like that, or what they follow and what they believe in and stuff like that. But they're first time offenders, so they don't have a record. But if you could check the mental, or have somebody put in to where they're on here on this hate, these hate sites, bro, that's going to alleviate a lot of stuff. But you can't be having people just get out here and have ARs and all this stuff without having a proper being vetted properly. I'm not trying to say that people can't have semi-automatic weapons and custom weapons of whatever, but these people have to be vetted to the utmost degree to save people. Like, look, there's people that don't believe in any guns, and I feel if those people don't want weapons, they shouldn't have them. But those people should feel safe. But I'm a person that believes that, hey, look, open carry, you know what I'm saying? I don't want everybody to have open carry. If people want to talk about having papers, that's where you have your papers. You got your gun on a holster somewhere. You can't be carrying no concealed weapon. I don't believe that, because that's what could get somebody. Now, somebody could counteract me and say, well, what if there's a mass shooter? Well, if you got people being vetted and not having these crazy ass weapons, you don't have to be concealing your weapon like that, unless you're an officer or a military person or a trainer of some point. That shouldn't be. This ain't the wild fucking West. Anyway, I can talk about that forever. But people got to do better. You saying black people gonna get famous? So I don't know. Like I said, my homeboy just called me, was telling me I don't know who popped him, but I'm just saying, you know what? Like I said, I don't want anybody to get hurt. When Trump got popped, I was like, I don't want the man to die. I can't stand him. I can't stand that administration. You know it. Everybody that knows me know it. But I don't want anybody to get killed by it. So I don't want the same thing. I know Charlie Kirk is a racist piece of shit. I know it. But I don't want the man to die. Not like that. I just want these people to go away, go back in their rocks where they once were, and have their little congregation of hate amongst themselves. That's me. But I don't want nobody to get hurt, not like that. And I don't know what color the person that popped him, but I'm thinking if it was in Iowa, like my homeboy said, I mean, I know there's some black people in Iowa, but very few. Then again, but we got to get that. We got to get this shit under control. We got to get this under control, Jack. I wonder if these Republicans are going to keep talking about thoughts and prayers, because now one of their own that advocates for them is over there, that's over here got caught up into this violence. So, Curie said, you didn't have to do that. What Raichi say? He said, hey, let me self-censor on that. Oh, okay, I got you. But anyway, we gotta. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Okay, so let me get back to this crazy stuff here. Before this turns into a whole nother different discussion. I'll probably dibble back and forth when I'm sitting here talking about the whole mass shooting thing it could be caused by gamers from RFK Jr. But anyway, so this is wild, ladies and gentlemen. This is wild. Okay, so anyway, back to what she was saying. She's like the chat log of a person called Vivian, who is confirmed as a former dev of the studio, was leaked in February 2025. The conversation was really something. This stuff is all over the Chinese internet, and this is one of our sources, right? Okay, so here's the source to back this up. And again, this has been I've seen this and I read this, and this has kind of been all over the back channels. So I'm like, yo. And I didn't see anybody, the media out here in the West, or, PlayStation people ain't gonna really say nothing. Like I said, they ain't said nothing about Lost Soul Aside because the game ain't sold well. The game didn't rate well. I still like the game, but this stuff is wild. Okay, so it says it right here. It says, this project can only be completed thanks of Yang Bing, the creator of the game, and me. The N-word in Chinese is the largest overseas audience of video games. Now listen, I don't know if that's true or not. Now I know there's a lot of brothers and sisters that love some video games, mostly brothers. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen a lot of my sisters get down and start buying consoles and playing games too. Now there is a huge women gaming population now, and I'm all for it. I'm glad. I'm so glad that there's more women gaming now, and they understand how we feel as men, how great gaming is. Great stress reliever. I mean, there's other great stress relievers, pants off, dance off, but gaming is up there. Anyway, so this is where my big head is covering this. So I'm going to read this, and this is word for word. I'm not adding anything to it. So it says right here, it says, yesterday, a senior from Sony came to the studio and set the political correct agenda. We had better listen to Sony. When you lose 1 unit of sales from yellow people, you will receive 10 units of sales from black people. Or every sale we lose from yellow people, we will get 10 times more from black people. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of drama surrounding it, and it appears that the chat log was leaked as some kind of revenge act. Nevertheless, it is undeniable that this person was one of the devs, and the chat log is real. The studio head apologized for it. Since then, the game has never regained its goodwill among Chinese core gamers. I, that's what I'm looking at, Raichi. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I want to read this again. That's what I said. This was a crazy story. Nobody ain't really talking about it. I know it's out there in circles. There's hundreds of thousands of content creators out there, but in our circles that we listen to, I ain't heard shit. Nothing. This is crazy. This is wild. And so hold up. So that's what I'm wondering. I'm gonna read it again. Okay. N-word in Chinese. I don't even know. I got a couple of let me be correct. Let me be politically correct here. I'm not gonna be one of these idiots out here to come out, oh, you know. I have one Chinese friend. I have one Chinese buddy. The rest of my buddies are Korean. So I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna be disrespectful. But I got to know what the N word is in Chinese. Because I'm like, because I need to know if it's the ER or it's the Because if it's the then old dude think he a YN. You know what I'm saying? He think he a YN over here, right? Now, if he's over here doing the ER, then, you know what? Then I might have been, well, they got rid of the guy, right? But you get your just desserts for being an asshole. You know what I mean? And you should be drugged. But let me read it again. N-word in Chinese is the largest overseas audience of video games. You know what? I'm wondering this I really am understanding this I'm wondering, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if bro, YN, then I'm like, I can rock with that. I mean, I mean, he wants to have the flavor. I have that's how it may come off. But I need to know if it's the ER or the A. That's what I need to know. Because if it's the ER, then goddamn it, I made a mistake. I should have never bought this game. But anyway, let me keep pushing. Yesterday, a senior from Sony came to the studio and set the political correct agenda. So I'm over here okay, so I don't think the Sony representative came up there to say, yo, black folks are the biggest demographic. I think he came in there to try to mend fences by trying to say, look, we want to try to sell this game to any and everybody who is interested in it, because of course Sony has put a whole bunch of money behind this game. Maybe not a major bag, but they put some bag behind it, right, to make it exclusive. or console exclusive for right now. I think this game is in such bad shape that if Xbox sit there and say, hey, look, man, we'll put that in Game Pass for you, man. Go ahead, let's give you a little bit of that bag. Bring that on over here to the box, make a port over for the box. Then it could be. But you know how Sony's contracts are. They're ridiculous. So it's whatever. But anyway, I'm worried that again, Sony, yesterday, a senior from Sony came to the studio and set the political correct agenda. So I'm thinking that I really am thinking that the dudes came, the man or woman who are most likely, it sounds, well, I don't know if it's a man or woman, whatever. Somebody that is trying to set it right, saying, look, we want everybody to want this game. So no craziness. But Richili, Raichi, it does seem like it does from way that's broke down. It's like, bro's like, hey, it's all good. Just let it be popping in the United States. The brothers and sisters got you out there. That's how it did come off, but I don't know. But anyway, so let me read the rest. We had better listen to Sony. When you lose, so hold on. I might be wrong. Maybe the senior rep did say this shit. I don't know, bro. Okay, we better listen to Sony. When you lose 1 unit of sales from yellow people, you will receive 10 units of sales from black people. Or sales we lose from yellow people, we will get 10 times more from black people. Ay. And the Chinese people, well, Asian people are proud people. You gonna sit there and say, look, you ain't buying our shit. We know the black folks in America gonna buy it. I would be pissed too if I was Asian, if I was Chinese. I'd be mad at that motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about? You making this game in our country, you are Chinese, and you over here talking about black people? I'd be a little hot too. Like, don't worry about them. Let those black folks in the U.S. Yo, that's why I said I had to tell you. I had to do another of my thoughts today because I told this story. This is wild, man. He says, read that yellow people part again. I'm yellow 4% black. Okay, all right. I'm gonna read it again. What's good? What's good, Husky? All right, I'm gonna read it again. Okay, I'm gonna start it right back from the beginning, and I'm gonna read everything. So we'll discuss. This project can only be completed thanks to Yang Bing, the creator of the game, and me. N-word in Chinese is the largest overseas audience for video games. Yesterday, a senior from Sony came to the studio and set the political correct agenda. We had better listen to Sony. When you lose 1 unit of sales from yellow people, you will receive 10 units of sales from black people. Or every sale we lose from yellow people, we will get 10 times more from black people. That's a lot of drama surrounding it. And it appears that the chat log was leaked as some kind of revenge act. Nevertheless, it is undeniable that this person was one of the devs and the chat log is real. The studio head apologized for it. Since then, the game has never regained its goodwill amongst Chinese core gamers. Hey, brother, I couldn't believe it. I did some more digging and this is real. I did more digging. I went to other places. I went deep diving because I'm not going to just come out with no crazy shit and just try to make some stir the pot. I don't do that type of stuff, especially when it comes to race relations. I tend to be on that. I like to talk my shit, but I'm not here to be on no race relation shit like that to or try to demean somebody that was a former dev or a dev on a. I'm not doing that unless this shit is real. You know what I mean? So like. It's out there. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just like what the dude said right there, that R1C4 RD1 said, not even China fucks with this game. That's cold blood. Bro, that and the more I read it, the more I've just read that. I've read this over about 5 times now. It did seem like it said that the Sony representative came in there and told him, look, man, if the Chinese people don't want it, the black folks will get it. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. Now, the thing of it is saying that there are more uh what they say there are more black uh gamers out there is pretty wild. Now again, if they're talking about like just people who aren't Chinese, well, no, they would separate white folk out of that. But the reality of it is that there's more people of color in the world than there is white people. So maybe that's what they meant. But I mean, they're talking about in America. So I mean, well, in the West. So I don't know. That's just wild. It blows my mind. You know, congratulations to the black community. We over there kicking ass. We saving gaming. I guess let that PlayStation representative and that dev say it. And I can't front. I bought it, so I'm like, yo, I like hack and slash games, and I bought it. So I don't know. I don't know how to call it. I don't know what to call it. He said, holy shit, I had to hear that shit a second time, and I regret getting the OG PlayStation 4. Bro, I don't know how to call this one. I don't know, man. Is it low key clowning? Is it low key propping? I don't know how to take it. Honestly, this is wild. You got somebody going over there to China and sitting there saying some wild shit like that, basically saying, instead of just saying Americans will eat, you will get 10 times of the sales if you just they come, and then bro over here sitting there saying the N-word in Chinese. If they're throwing somebody under the bus, that person is already final destination. Fam, I don't even know how to. That's why I said I had to. I didn't want to take all day yesterday. So on getting this story, because I was ranting enough on about the about Game Pass and stuff like that, but. Bro, I said I had to tell this story because I had to let this news out because it needs to be shared to the gamers, man. So yeah, that was wild. That is very wild. So I'm gonna go back to the gaming now. I'm about to go show the gameplay. But yeah, that's crazy as hell. Real crazy. I could not believe it. I really couldn't. I was really out here tripping. Anyway. So yes. Read some of this. No, they thinking about yellow people in so hold on, let me read some more. You're 50% Scandinavian, 25% French descent, 25 native Canadian. And this is wild. I mean, that's, you know what? The Sony nations are good in hiding this. They are. Bro, I saw a little bit of this, and but this was what was crazy, right? You know how, like, okay, so the PlayStation community will talk amongst themselves. Wouldn't that mean people talking about it? Like, they just kind of ignored it. They just ignored it. Like I'm sure that they went into the DMs and where they go in the Discords and stuff like that and talked about it amongst themselves. But none of this. And you know what? They're probably happy that the game didn't do well, so they don't have to. So there wouldn't be no more, because Tataku is good. It's really throwing out shade like that. Like, yo, look at this craziness. So I don't know. Wild. Like, that's what I was trying to say. When we doing next episode of GRG, I think I said the 19th. I think I said the 19th. Yeah, it'll be the 19th, not the 12th, but the 19th. I know technically the 12th will probably be the best, but we're going to do GRG on the 19th. That's what I got it scheduled for. So that's when we'll do. We'll do GRG on the 19th. So get ready for that. It's already set up there. And then so you can start working on giving me topics you want to talk about since through the month that we haven't talked about together, or and we will not have a 5 hour. I'm sorry, I will not have the sauce, and I will I will not go on I have a 5 hour and a half podcast. I will not do that. So we'll just have fun. We'll tone it down a little bit. He got hit in the neck. God damn, somebody was trying to kill it. Listen, prayers up. Prayers up. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I like I said, I want that man to go back into his little cave and talk amongst the other little punk ass racists and just be gone and let the rest of the world love each other and be inclusive and enjoy each other's company and time. But I don't want anybody to get popped in the throat. Like I said, this hate rhetoric is not it just, they want you to hate certain groups. But the way that these people are acting, they're hating everybody. They think everything's bad. And I don't know, and like I said, I don't know what color the person was that hit Charlie Kirk. I don't know what political situation it could be. It could be a liberal, it could be a Republican, but it could be Matt. It could be, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to definitely find out when I get off here. But again, Charlie Kirk has helped solidify this hate. And I don't want this man to perish. You know what I'm saying? I want him to live. But I hope that if he does make it, that he thinks about it for a minute. Look at the dumb shit I've done to sit there and try to spew some bullshit to get people riled up and nasty and upset and try to push this pro-white ideology on everybody when you're not even the fucking majority of the fucking world. Stop it. Stop it. And now you got hurt behind it. So stupid. So stupid. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But I'm going to pray for him because I'm a holy man. Hope he makes it through. But goddamn, somebody tried to take him out. That's crazy. Anyway, yes, I mean I'm Canadian. My family immigrated. I'm from the West Indies. I'm a West Indies gal. Dang, you call yourself gal? That's country right there. So I have no shame in saying I have a left humanitarian lean on pew pews in general, and that's fine. Like my wife is definitely left leaning when it comes to weapons. I'm not. I'm left leaning center. I don't think all Republican policies are bad. With this administration, it is. but from when you're looking about like deficit and stuff like that, but we already know about they don't care about the deficit. So I mean, we've gone through this from how many presidents now going back to Reagan. So Republican presidents from Reagan, the deficit is always higher. So I don't want to hear all these deficit hawks talking that shit. But I don't. I see some when they get out there and the Republicans talk about stuff, and when it comes to debt and things of that nature, I follow that. I dig that. But when it comes to all this other crazy stuff, no, absolutely not. What are we doing? We're talking about y'all got me getting political, and I want to so bad, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. This is about gaming. But yeah, no, this is it's tragic. We got to do something about these guns in here. Oh, absolutely, Big Bad Mo. The "Make America Great Again" thing is a white thing. Yeah, yeah. That I knew exactly what that meant when that fool said it. He was. I'm like, oh. So, I mean, they're more bolder than ever about letting it out. Like I seen some senator that was at a nationalist convention talk about, and this was wild. Bring up about the forefathers and how America is their country. Hell with my bloodline, Native American. He even said it. We had to get rid of the savages to take claim of our land. Yo. So I got it from both sides, right? I got ancestors that got shipped here, and I got ancestors that got slaughtered here. So but do I have hate in my heart? No, I do not. I was raised different. I do not tolerate shit from racists though. Don't get this, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But I just don't understand it. Like I'm listening to that dude say that. You can look it up yourself. He sit there and said those exact words and said that it's their country. Like it sounded like some apartheid shit. It really did. It sounded like some South African shit. It's crazy. They're really trying to act a fool, man. They really are trying to act a fool. Husky, he said they need to do something with the pew pews. Not saying people shouldn't have them, but people need to pass a mental test. Yeah, that's what I was just saying before you hopped on. I was saying that like they have to do more. There got to be more restrictions, man. And especially when you want to get that hot fire, them flames. You know what I'm saying? These AR-15s and beyond that, bro, you got to get vetted. There got to be a major background check on all levels, mental and criminal. And there should be harsh punishments for anybody that sits there that's harmed somebody. That's what I'm saying. If you let's say that you was a felon, you got out of prison, and you want a firearm. Well, you should be limited on the firearm that you need. Somebody say, well, that's not constitutional. Is it not? You still see what's not constitutional is how I've seen brothers that sit here and got out of the pen and they couldn't get a proper job. That's criminal. Well, you're talking about when somebody and so like when somebody needs a gun to want to protect themselves, I feel that people should have that right to have stuff to protect themselves. But why would they need an AR-15? Why would they need an AK? Why would they need the crazy shit that they have? Why would they need bum stocks? Anyway. Well, okay. Michael Turner, he says since they ran from King's rule and want to apply it now, yes. Going full. Oh, right, that's crazy. Yeah. So anyway, let me get back to the gaming. Woo, man. All right. So this is a wild show. I was not expecting all this. This is a wild stream. Okay, so let me get back. Okay, so I'm gonna save the positive stuff for PlayStation for last. Get out here on a positive note. I gotta talk about this Nintendo stuff, man. Now this is dangerous. This is dangerous stuff. Now so for people who don't know, Nintendo is, let me go and I want to read a little bit to you. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, okay. So Nintendo in Japan, and I think it's somewhere in US as well. Okay. Nintendo has been awarded a patent for summon and fight mechanics in the US. Think about that for a second. How many games out there use summon and fight? Now, there's more to this, right? Okay, so they're going, all this is stemming from Power World, which Nintendo is Nintendo, right? And so much so is that Sony is following suit and going after Tencent over the game that looks like Horizon Forbidden West. Listen, Part Pokemon is its own entity. Power World is not going, if anything, Power World is going to make Pokemon a better game, make the devs work harder because there's competition. That's how I look at it. Just like with sports games, right? That's why a lot of people complain and wish Madden would have competition, even though this is a really good Madden that's out finally, right? I like the last few iterations of Madden here, the last 3-4 years. I know that like now it's been hit and miss on the franchise mode, stuff like that. But whatever. This Madden seems very, very solid. Very, very solid. A really good Madden. But people still want 2K. And I understand that, and I'm not mad at that. The one situation with college basketball, EA was getting ready to announce that they were going to work on a basketball game, on a college basketball game. Well, this is on the gamers. This one is on the gamers. The schools and the students wanted 2K to do it, and so EA says, all right, we'll back out. So now what you're doing, schools and students, you're alienating the potential of competition, because the strategy that 2K was going to do with college was going to monetize it into NBA 2K and give you a half-ass version of it. If EA had the opportunity to make the game, which they did, but because of the feedback that they got from the schools and from the students, is that, well, we want 2K. Well, then, you know, you could get a full game, and then 2K would have to make a college game as well. But because EA backed out because of the feedback that they got, well, you kill competition, and that's bad. But here we go with this, with Nintendo and what they're doing. They're going a whole nother direction. They're forcing the hand of, they're doing what a lot of people were pissed off at EA with doing for with Madden, and they're doing this to try to shut down Power World. But it's even crazier than that. So let me keep reading this. All right, so there's 2 new patents granted to Nintendo. Okay, so last week, Nintendo quietly secured a US patent that on paper gives it ownership over one of the most common mechanics in gaming, summoning a character and having it fight another. Yes, Big Bad Mo. Elden Ring has that. Diablo has that. There's tons of games that has that. RPGs, Western RPGs, bro. So let me keep going. Okay, so the U.S. patent. So let me rephrase that. They did get some patents agreed to from the U.S., which was issued today. Covers the smooth switching of riding objects, like Pocket Pair already worked with in this feature in Power World. So right now that acquisition is not much of a threat. Okay. However, Game Phrase report in their thorough coverage of the case, which was granted over a week ago on September 2nd, is a much more significant concern, not just for Power World, but this patent covers the fundamental mechanics of summoning a character to have it fight another. So yes, sounds like Pokemon. However, it also describes things that many other games do. And so again, like it goes into other games that's up there. So here's a rough summary. Okay, so there must be a PC, console, other computing device, and the game is stored on a drive or similar storage medium. You can move your main character in a virtual space. You can summon a secondary character called a sub-character in the patent. If there's an enemy present, the summoned character fights it, either automatically or based on its input. If there isn't, the summoned character can still move and fight when it encounters an enemy. If a game does those things, Nintendo now has a patent that could be used to argue infringement. I'm sure you think you can think of hundreds of games like that. I know you can. I mean, hell, I can't even. Out of the hundreds of games that I have, there's tons of them like that. Man, bro. So they're going to use this against Power World. Power World's fighting their ass off. I'm happy about that. Man, but for them to get these patents granted, Nintendo is diabolical. And listen, I want to think positive. I really do. But man, let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. If Nintendo dare go after somebody like Microsoft, Microsoft is going to fight back, which there's no question. We would all agree Microsoft should definitely fight back. But you know what that means? If Nintendo really would try to be an asshole and be on that level to go after certain games that they feel that is a threat to them, and let's just say that was an Xbox, and since Xbox are putting their games on everything now, and that game might have a similarity to something that Nintendo has, we're going to have a whole nother discussion about the console wars, because it's going to be the patent wars, and then it's going to be big bank take little bank. And what I mean by that, because Nintendo got large money and PlayStation got large money and Microsoft got even larger money. So if you start seeing that the PlayStation is going to try to protect themselves, because if, let's say, Nintendo go after them for something, because this whole exclusivity thing, now some people might say, oh, this is great, this will stop exclusivity. No, it won't. What it will do is that these companies will start buying out patents, and it will crush, and I mean crush, indie developers. It will devastate them. It will devastate them. Because this is what they're doing. This is what Nintendo was doing to a small studio. They don't want competition. They just want to they want to take them out. They became too popular, too fast, too well known, and they've had better mechanics. They had better mechanics and all that. Because then what Power World and games like that, because if you have a game like Power World that if they can win this case, right, then you're going to have more games like Power World. And then that's more competition, and it puts more pressure on the devs. And maybe that might be a positive thing to where finally Nintendo will start putting their games elsewhere as well. Or just make better Pokemon games. But this is dangerous. This is crazy. For a judge or a commission, whatever, to allow this and not have a proper defense of trying to explain to them of how many games have that type of have that type of gameplay loop is insane. I mean, it will cripple the gaming industry, because then what you'll have is these big companies saying this, that, and the third. Look, what Nintendo is doing is what hurt Monolith. There should be no reason that engine that Monolith had for Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War should not be in other games. That is a fantastic. That's why I wanted Microsoft to pick up Monolith, pick up Warner Brothers, and if they couldn't pick up Warner Brothers, get Monolith, so you can get that patent. So you can get that. And Microsoft would be cool of just letting it go everywhere, for the most part. Because, and if not, they'll put their games on everything. So it's like gamers are not going to miss out. But with Nintendo and what they're doing, they're so hell bent on not having competition is to sit there and maybe destroy indie developers. Because PlayStation and Xbox will be fine. Microsoft and PlayStation and Microsoft will be and Xbox will be fine. They got the money. They'll fight back. They'll take it to court. They got endless money. Well, not endless, but Microsoft got endless money. PlayStation doesn't, but PlayStation got enough to fight, make a case. Man, I don't know, man. Nintendo has got to leave until another system sells like the Wii. Nintendo ain't gonna go nowhere, man. But what I do need to see, and I was waiting for it. That's why I was gonna do this podcast earlier, or the stream earlier, and I was waiting for people to start. I was waiting for Nintendo people to start really saying, look, this isn't a good look. I haven't seen too much. Now, again, I don't follow a lot of stuff. And, I don't talk about Nintendo too much. I respect Nintendo. They save gaming. I don't have no hatred for Nintendo whatsoever, but I am baffled that man, and look, I mean, you would hope that Nintendo wouldn't want to start a shitstorm like this, but man, but this is what I got to put into the perspective of people about how Nintendo operates. They have loyal fans that goes and buys their console, and they will brick them for the most minor shit. That should tell you something right there. That should tell you something. It's a hive mind. Because like I said, I've been looking to see some people. I've been looking to see people. Because the people that's been complaining has mostly been, journalists, Xbox, PlayStation people, and PC people. I haven't seen any Nintendo people come out and say anything really too much. I'm sure that there's some that's like, yo, that's not cool. Nintendo, don't do that. But I mean, Nintendo was so diabolical, bro. They brick their own customers' consoles. Lock them out to the point that they gotta buy a new console, and don't sit there and tell them, my bad. You shouldn't have broke the rules. And there's been people that saying, I ain't break any rule. I just went to this and did that, and it tripped out. Oh, well, give me another 500, another 400, another 4 to 5, and you'll get your games back. Just don't make the same mistake again. Man, you said, Husky, you said I did a TikTok about that, and so many people jumped in my comments defending Nintendo for that. Listen. Ashley, 1963, PlayStation has not been destroying Nintendo. I don't know where you get this. They put boot to ass the PlayStation. They did well with the PlayStation 1. They put boot to ass with PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Nintendo dogged walked PlayStation 3. The Wii U was the most sold console that generation. And the Switch is dogged walked everything else in this generation, and the Switch 2 looks like it's burning hot. So no, it ain't dogged walk. I mean, and then if we really want to be honest, Nintendo with their game sales, with their exclusive game sales, they decimate PlayStation and Xbox. Decimate. It's not even nothing to discuss as an Xbox guy. I'm not touching that. I'm not dare going there with a Nintendo dude. Hey, what them sales like over there for Xbox for them exclusives? Bro, I don't know. I don't want no trouble. I'm just gonna talk to these PlayStation stands over here. I'm not dealing with you. Because I got nothing for you. I got nothing. And so you being a PlayStation fan, I wouldn't recommend trying to come out here talking about they out there dog walking Nintendo. You can talk about the console sales for a couple of generations, but you damn sure can't talk about them damn exclusives. Bro, they selling 60, 70 million copies. Man, stop it. Can't touch them. Can't touch them. So Xbox was king of being the most popular console. The 360 was the most popular console of that generation. There's no question. But the Wii was the most sold console of that generation. That's a fact. That's just what it is. Because PlayStation 3 finally eventually caught Xbox 360 and outsold it by I don't know, by 6, 7, 8. I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 million, something like that. But no, nobody, not even the PlayStation community, can deny the 360. They can't. And hell, really, the Nintendo fan base for the Switch 2 can't really talk bad about the Xbox One because that's pretty much what that console is. So here's what it is. Those are facts. Yeah, Big Man Mode Nintendo has the best retention for first party. We can't talk. That's what I'm saying. Like that's like me in a room with Mike Tyson. Not old Mike Tyson. I'd fight old Mike Tyson, but we're talking about young and in prime Mike Tyson. Do you want some me, fat boy? No, absolutely not. I'll break your fucking neck. I'll show you up. I'll eat you alive. Yep, you would. I'm finna go this other direction. Don't want no trouble. And I mean, don't get it twisted. I'll fight him. I don't mean I'm gonna win. But I'll throw hands back. But Prime Mike Tyson? Shit. I'm bruh. Why you tripping? Why you tripping? With the hand on the thing. Just the hand on the thing. Just like don't. I'm walking away. I don't want no trouble. You are a weapon. So I need a weapon. I don't want no trouble. Hey, I ain't trying to fight old Mike Tyson either, but I'd square up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm going to win. I'm not. But I'm just saying, I'll square up. And get laid down. That's all right. And I can sit there and I can brag. I can live to tell about it. Prime Mike Tyson, I might not. It might be kitings for the kids. So no, absolutely not. So that's exactly how Nintendo's retention in game and first party game sales is compared to PlayStation and Xbox. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. So let's not do that. The only way I'm fighting Mike Tyson, I need to get paid at least 20 mil. Bro, now that's it. I mean, listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I gotta let him hit me with the first lick. And then I'm suing, right? I'm gonna take that beating and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him across the head. I'm gotta give me about good 5 mil. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, hell, he been making some good money. So yeah, I'll probably hit him about good 10, 15 mil. Yeah, I'm gonna lay there, shake a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'll twitch and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll sell it. But I'm gonna square up on his ass though. Old Mike, not young Mike though. Ain't no way. Lord Jesus, no. That terrifies me thinking about that right now. Man, I watch all his fights. Are you kidding me? No way. You said I'm not squared up unless I'm getting some money. Once he knocks me out, bro, I'm telling you, I'm squared up. I'm gonna sit there and it should be over pretty quick, but but I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna throw back. I'm gonna at least connect somewhere. I'm gonna throw something, and then I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna just lay it on down, and then think about each extra hit that he'll hit me with. That's a meal. And I'm just like, go ahead, so just go ahead. But young Mike Tyson, I wouldn't be getting that money because I'd be gone. It'd be going to my family. I'd be out of here. Hell no. No, no, no. Mm. Okay, anyway, let me get back to it. I know, I'm tripping. Oh man. So yeah, Nintendo is out there doing the most. I hope not. I hope that they don't get crazy with it, but I thought that that was a great I normally be knocking the gaming media, but this was a great article from Jennifer Young. I thought that was I thought that was really good stuff. And Nintendo has got to do better. I hope that Nintendo is going to do what they want to do. That's the problem. And like you said, Husky, they have their community allows them to do whatever they want to do, and that's the problem. That's the problem. So it is what it is. So all right, last topic, and then we're going to get out of here. Let's see. I want to read the poll, and so this last point is about clickbaiting. And my question to you guys, I can't wait to hear what you got to say. Do you feel that clickbaiting is hurting gaming? And so I asked on the poll. It said your thoughts, and then 7% said it makes for a good conversation. 57% of you guys said you hate it, and then 36% of you guys so far said don't care. Now, I mean, I'm well. I guess that's just the next to the last. I want to talk about PlayStation before I get out of here. But for me, because I guess some people could say that I clickbait a little bit. For I'll say something, I'll post something. It's like what I posted on my birthday. Me on the boat, and I'm saying, hey, I'm out here enjoying time, what I'm saying, but Xbox the best box. And then, well, you console warring, didn't say anything bad about any other console. I'm just saying Xbox is the best box, and I'm just enjoying my time. I mean, I'm not near an Xbox. I'm over here enjoying my vacation, but enjoying time with family. But I'm just saying, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I can't wait to get to some gaming. There's some hot games that's out that I got that I haven't got a chance to play yet. And then I'm sitting here looking at, and I was like, hey, let me just throw that out there. And then it was looked at, and that could be looked at as clickbaity. Yeah, because I knew what I was doing. But I wasn't, but it ain't console warring. But then you got what I think that where I feel that what hurts gaming is when you have these clickbait articles or these people that make these really crazy posts talking about something like ultra negative about Xbox staff or an individual from one of these like a podcaster or a content creator, and then they make they say anything, and it ain't true. And that to me is where it hurts because it's what stopped me from reading a lot of. Once I see a clickbait article, I don't even click on it anymore. I just skip it. I'll read the comments and see where they were going. And sometimes people will say, "Oh, that wasn't nothing. That was just clickbait." But then there's those ones that those headlines are just absolutely sinister, and it's all about the console war. And that to me is where it's like, yes, it is hurting gaming. Well, I know. He said that's not even a percentage close to clickbaiting. Uh, you see, well, that's why I was saying, fan is where I stand. It's depending on what you consider clickbaiting, but that's why I'm explaining it to you what I feel is clickbaiting and what I hate. It's when somebody lies on somebody or give this deceptive title, or when they make it a video and they're bringing up somebody and then they're just saying some random shit, and then they're not correcting themselves when they're wrong. Those things what hurts gaming. And it hurts the community as well, because what people do when they listen to us, they want to feel like they can trust the person that they're talking to. Case in point, like there's a content creator that comes out there and I mean, there's a lot of content creators like that. But they'll talk about all these games, right? They'll talk about them, but they don't play them. They get free codes, they'll say stuff, and people will go check their achievements, and they ain't done shit. They ain't done nothing. They ain't even get the first achievement or trophy. But then yet they'll talk negative about a game. That's the type of stuff I hate. The clickbaiting type of and it's another reason why I can't stand reviews. Like the Metacritic stuff, I don't even care. I don't care. If there's a game that I like, a game that I'm looking at, like they can say Ninja Gaiden 4 is a 10 out of 100. I'm still buying it. I'm still playing it. Well, I'm going to play it on Game Pass first, and then I'll buy it a little bit later because I've already explained that yesterday. You know, there's Battlefield, there's Call of Duty, there's another game that's in between there that I want to get. So thank goodness for Game Pass, and so I'll get it later. But I don't care. You can tell me that game is the worst game I've ever played. I got to experience it because I'm really excited for Ninja Gaiden. Or let's just say Ghost of Yortai. Like I don't get a lot. I'm not seeing the same type of the excitement for Ghost of Yortai like I have seen for Ghost of Tsushima. But still, if let's say that game was a 60, like let's just say that it was just I know that I'm going to love it. I know I'm going to love it. Because I played the gaming loop, and it's not, and Sony is really good at that about not deviating too much off of a success of not the success of a game that they've had. So that to me is where it's you know, and so I know that game is going to give me more of the same, just a little bit extra. So I'm fine with that. Those type of things is what bother me, because those things are very clickbaity. Especially like the reviews just make me sick when people just dog out these games so bad. Now look, you can not like it, and that's fine. But I used to love how reviews used to be, where they would tell you, "Listen, this wasn't the game for me, but you be the one to decide." That's how old reviewers used to do it. Now you got people, it's trash, it's garbage, it's nasty, stay away. What? You know, and that's that bugs me. That does bug me. Yotai, okay, there you go. Yotai, Ghost of Yotai. I said Yotai. Oh, it doesn't mean Yotai. You get what I'm saying? Yotai. Okay, sucker. Yotai. Yotai. Why are you making fun of me, brother? Why are you making fun of me? I told you I'm country. I'll be butchering the names of these games. It was just like that one game I was talking about. Where is it at? That I was showing gameplay to, and somebody was asking me what the name of that game was, and it was Demon Ex Machina. But I didn't say. I would just say it is Ex Machina. I said Damon or something like that. So yeah, I'm bad with these, especially with foreign names. I'm just bad with them. I just all the letters is this way, that way. I'm dyslexic, and that shit looks like a crooked S, and I'm just trying to fight for my life trying to make that stuff up. I'm trying to pronunciate it properly. So just leave me alone. Let me be country. That's what I'm saying. Let me be country. I'm a country boy. That's it. I'm doing the best I can, Husky. Anyway, so yeah, I think the clickbait stuff is garbage. Now, hated is up to 60%. It should be 90%, but there's people that's out there that like the mess. They like the messy, and that's fine. Oh man, he said you act like I'm not country as well. I'm from Alabama. I got it hood, but country city. I got you. I know you from the South. I got you. We country, but I mean, listen. I have. There's never been a problem with me if somebody knew how to pronunciate a game or a person, or a developer's name. You can have it. But if I got to do it, then just be prepared. So that's why you don't see me coming. I've had a few devs come on to GRG or something like that. I did an interview with a couple of devs or whatever, and and I'm just like, there was one dev though. He was from Europe. And I was showing off his game from it was a really cool little game. It was an indie title where it was I need to show that gameplay to that game too again, where it was a paper airplane and you had to you try to maintain to keep it up in the air and fly it as far as you could. It was a really cool game. Anyway, he had one of those names, the last names. I just call him by his first name. Well, no, I just said, hey, I said his first name, and then I sit there and I said, hey, introduce yourself. And so when he said it, I caught it, and then it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I was like, okay, I can say his full name the next time when we get done with this interview. But yeah, but that's why I don't be asking. Unless you got some like John Smith, then man, listen, that's why I don't be asking. I don't want to butcher nobody's name. I don't want to embarrass myself either. So I let everybody else do the get the interviews and stuff like that, man. I just no, man. What do you say? I'm not just foreign. He said it's not just foreign names you're bad with. I just said that. I know. I can't. I still your fancy. Look, I don't know, man. I know. I butcher your name too, and I did the same thing with Raichi. So I would call him Richili, but I know. It said, he said it's yo plate. Stop it. Like the yogurt? Yo plate. That's how you say it, right? Yo plate? No, it's not yo plate, sucker. I've heard people say it's yo tai, yo tay, whatever. You know what? It was easier to say Shoshima. Like you would think that whatever. Why am I going through this? Listen, damn it. Let me get out of there. Let me sit here and get off of this. I hate clickbaiting. It's garbage. Stop doing it, people. Let's be better. All right, let me get. That man said, "Yo, play." Man, it's not like the yogurt. Stop it. Anyway, do they still make that yogurt? Do they still make Yo Play? Do they still make that? I don't know. I don't eat yogurt. My wife kills it, but I don't like it. He said, "Go to Yo Plate of Yo Play." Stop it. Yes, clickbait is trash. You can't even say Shoshima right. Well, just stop making weird names. I can't. If I ain't saying it right, then I ain't saying it right. I'm doing my best, people. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my damn best. I mean, you can dock me. I won't get a 10 out of 10. At least as long as I'm in the 8s, as long as I'm in the Xbox range from 8.5, I'm good. That's still a success. You said you used to love the yogurt, Yo Plate. Yeah. Well, I've eaten yogurt. It's not my thing. I mean, if I'm gonna eat, to me, I just rather eat fruit. You know what I'm saying? Give me some bananas, some grapes, some peaches, something like that. Yogurt ain't the thing for me. I don't like cream cheese. I don't like what's that other stuff? My wife eat all that. Ugh, don't like that. It's funny because it's us Xbox guys talking about Yo Play and not the PlayStation guys. There's no hype. Yo Tay. Yo Tai, Yo Tay, whichever one. They're not talking about Ghost. They're not. No, I see a few people that will probably say, man, I can't wait for this. But it is nowhere. It's not the same type of, it's not the same level of hype. And that's unfortunate because first game was outstanding. Outstanding. Should have won Game of the Year. Should have beat out The Last of Us 2. I still stand on that business. He said it used to hit, but now it doesn't hit anymore. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things that used to hit. Now I have not ate Taco Bell. Now I'm just going all off. Okay, so now we're about to go to the last topic. We're talking about PlayStation's 30 year. But I got to say this. My wife told me last night that Taco Bell. I haven't ate Taco Bell in like about 7 years. I went and when my mom first started getting sick, I went to stay the night and I went and bought some Taco Bell for me and because my son was meeting up with me to go stay with her. So I went and got some Taco Bell. It was so disgusting, and so I was like, I'm not eating this trash anymore. But my wife told me last night that the chili cheese burrito is coming back for a little bit. Boy, that used to hit. So now it's called me back. It's called me back. Boy, the chili cheese burrito. Ooh, that thing. Boy, that was my Taco Bell go-to with it. Man, Lord. Let me drink my water. Man. But and I know Taco Bell, but man, that chili cheese burrito there, they can't mess that up. I will be highly disappointed if you mess up the chili cheese burrito. And then also I gotta realize that I'm 50 years old now. So the last time I ate a chili cheese burrito was what? In the early 2000s? Late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. Maybe anywhere from the mid 2000s to the late 90s, but well, all through high school and stuff. But I don't know if OK Mega can handle it, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell after 7 years, and I'm gonna try me maybe 2 chili cheese burritos and see how the old man can handle it. Thank you, Big Bad Mo. The chili cheese burrito was life. You like tortillas more than tacos? No, it's not tortillas. What is that? Tortoise? I like tortoise. I'm not. I mean, they're fine, but now I tell you, like my mom used to love the Mexican pizzas. She used to love the Mexican pizzas from Taco Bell. But anyway, yeah. But the chili cheese burrito was absolute flames. You said your goal was the grilled stuffed burrito. I did like the grilled stuffed burrito too. But things change because man, I don't know how many people have ate Taco Bueno. But that damn muchacho, when that muchacho first came out, bro, that was it. Taco Bell was on the back burner. Man, give me a bean burrito and a muchacho, or maybe 2, bruh. It was over. The muchacho was tortas. That's what I said, man. That's what I said. Tortas. At first I said tostada, but I was like, that's not what that says. That said tortas. I said tortas. Yeah, well, I said that right. He says, I do love me a chalupa. Now, the chalupas are pretty good, too. The chicken chalupa was good. But I didn't, but the chicken chalupa was good. But, man, that muchacho from Taco Bueno was everything back then. Taco Bueno is falling off. A lot of fast food places falling off. But anyway, we talked about people getting popped in the neck. We've talked about everything. Oh, damn it, and I didn't even get to talk about the RFK thing. So let me talk about that. Oh my God. Okay. I'm trying to get to this last topic, talking about PlayStation in a positive manner. Anyway, all right, so quickly. RFK is sitting here brought up about that video game that gamers are could be the reason for the mass shooting. So we're going back to this same old trope. And as a person of color, I hear a lot of returning tropes. And it's tiring. It's very tiring. Oh, we're thugs. Oh, we're this. We're drug dealers. We're not bright. We're not smart. We're this. We're that. And now now as I am a person of color and a gamer, now I'm out here I want to cause mass hysteria and harm a lot of people. You know, this is what bothers me the most is that the people that will stand behind what RFK says or anything that administration says just got shitted on if you're a gamer. Because this ain't the only time that they've came after gamers and said, because they say gamers are lazy. Gamers is sitting in a basement. You know, gamers are fat. Now I'm fat. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? There's some big body men and women out there that's gaming. That's fine. But I mean, there's some big body men and women sitting there watching Netflix or whatever. But regardless, I'm a big guy. And then we don't want to work. We don't know how to socialize. We don't know how to do this. We don't know how to pick up skills. Now, and all these tropes. Now we want to be mass murderers. Bro, let me tell you something. I'm a single father to my son. I've been working ever since I was 13 years old. When I was actually, 12, when I was making money, cutting lawns, doing all types of stuff. I've hustled my ass off. I've worked on an average of the jobs that I've worked in, which has all been a professional driver. Well, not all. I mean, before I became a professional driver, because I got my CDL when I was 18, but I worked at AT&T in telecommunications. Went to college. What? So for one, now I can't spell. I'm dyslexic. Okay, and I can't pronunciate shit properly. That's fine. Okay, gotcha. But I'm not done. Got my degree, and also got my degree in plumbing as well because I was wanting to be a plumber. I went to Mid-Dale Votech, got my certification to be a plumber before I decided I wanted to drive. So hold up. But then I had to make moves because being a plumbers now, if I stayed a plumber, now I've been in some real good money. But I had a child when I was in high school. So I had to sit there and make that, you know what I'm saying? So I had to make decisions. And so I was like, man, let me get a couple of jobs. I worked at a pizza place and then I moved in and got lucky because, it's still, I mean, I think now you have to be 21 to get your CDL or something like that. I don't know. I was 18, but I got it through being a bus driver, school bus driver. So I was young. And so then I'm lying. That was later. I was 20. I was a daycare bus driver. And so I was working and I got my CDL from that. Then I went to move up to get my CDL B. So I was close. I was 19, close to 20. Anyway, got that. Every job that once I became a professional driver, when I went ahead and moved up from being a CDL B to a CDL A driver, went over being an over the road driver, I ain't never had a job that was under 10 hours. I wouldn't know what an 8-hour job was. The last time I had an 8-hour job was when I worked at a place called ITI, which was AT&T. They were selling AT&T. Oh my goodness, caller IDs. If you're old, you know what the caller ID was. So that was the last time I had an 8-hour job. Every job that I worked in was 10 hours plus. Hell, there was jobs that I broke that they did. You had to do the sneaking shit to where I worked 16, 17 hours in a day. Once it wasn't illegal at one point, but then it became illegal. And you over here had to sneak back to get back to the yard and hope to God that you didn't get stopped by the highway patrol. I've seen many people, and me included, cook the books when I'm over the road. because we had to haul. So one thing that you can never call me as a gamer and many other gamers is lazy or don't want to work. The hell you talking about? Hell yeah, 8 hours is nice. But what's nicer is when you retire. I'm retired by force, not by what's call it, but not by what I wanted to, but by force. But still, the problem is that there's all these bullshit ass tropes. There's great people, there's intelligent people. When you look at the data of gamers, it helps with your cognizant skills. It helps with your hand-eye coordination. It helps with all different types of things. It's not about just running around and just wanting to play games to shoot people. There's people that like to just play those particular type of games like Call of Duty or whatever. But for the most part, you could, when you play games like solitaire or, you're thinking and you got good and like when you're talking with people online and things like that. Now, there is a decline in communication skills with people. Like people don't get out and interact like they like we used to when we're older because you had no choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the era of the pager, so it's different. And everybody does these texts, crazy texts and stuff. I'd rather talk to people than text all day. But that's a difference. But just to come out and then now say that we're violent. I remember when I first heard about gamers supposed to be violent and into drugs and all that back in the 80s. They used to talk bad about the arcades and say that the arcades produced criminals and it was a bad place for all types of play. Yeah, and I'm sure there's been some arcades where there's been shenanigans there. You can't go anywhere with somebody not acting a fool. But there was this stigma about gamers, arcade gamers, being low-life bad people. Crazy. And then in the 90s, it wrapped up even more because then, of course, games like Doom, games like Mortal Kombat, and just other games just came out and they were more violent. But you know what? And then they wanted to do all this regulation. And what was really crazy to me, they also wanted to regulate hip hop music, but then yet they didn't say anything about the hard rock music and all the other, and some of the other music that, like, there was this Dean Martin song, and we're talking about old school song, talking about like maybe in the 60s, something like that, where it was a Christmas song where he's over here telling this woman to stay, right? But creeper style. Like, she's like, I gotta go home. He's like, nah. So he's macking. He's trying to keep her to keep home and stuff. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like, she's saying, no, I gotta go. And so there's a part in the song to where he's over here. She's like, hey, he's grabbing her and telling her. And he says, I'll keep you here. I'm gonna lock the door. Like, yo, bro, what is that? That's crazy. Or like the Beach Boys, I Get Around. They talking about going out there. They're talking about going out there fucking. They talking about hitting and knocking them off. Oh, but it's different. Or you talking about 80s rock with the Twisted Sisters and the Aerosmiths and all this crazy. None of that shit's regulated, but hip hop's got to be regulated. They're telling you to wild out, anarchy, craziness. There's so much other music, but all of a sudden hip hop was the dangerous stuff. And it comes right back to this whole point about just with gamers. Why is it that there's a group of people that really think that gaming is not beneficial to people? It keeps people out of trouble for the most part. It keeps people level-headed. It is a stress reliever. All we mostly want to do is be left alone. And the beautiful thing about gaming, about gaming is that how many gamers are out there. There's billions of us out there. We are a huge community. So it's really crazy when you have some of these weirdos that are a part of gaming that want to talk bad about another group of people. These people talking bad about us, and you're supposed to be one of us, a gamer. You don't like, but I was seeing some of the same people like on through Twitter and stuff like that was up in arms, but yet you're not up in arms when you talk about other people, when you're infringing your hate or dislike for another group of people. It's no different. It's no different. You're no different than those people that's talking bad about us as gamers. It is sickening. And it is tiring. And it's, listen, all these tropes, all these weird situations where people talk bad about us as gamers, and I see all these successful people. I see people that I look up to throughout the community that's doing well, that's been hard workers. They may be retired, or they're still working, or they're just just maintaining. But they're taking care of their families. They're doing, and all they want is just a little peace. Just jump on something, get into another world, because y'all are making the world so goddamn crazy right now that you want to take that away from us. That you want to blame us for something else. No, tell the truth. We just witnessed it earlier during this stream of, it's not the gamers. It's them who is bringing out this rhetoric, this hatred. And it's coming home to roost. Because what you're doing, there's those certain gamers that are isolated, that get caught up into that. But that just contributes to mental illness, which needs to be looked at, needs to be there. But most people out here, we're communicating, we're talking, we're enjoying ourselves. There's why people that like to play more single player games than they do multiplayer, but they usually go to multiplayer games to interact if they don't have friends outside of high school, if they're, it's not what some of these people try to project us to be, and it makes me sick to my stomach, because as a person, like I said before, I hear tropes about me as a person of color, which aren't true. And you gotta lay it on me more because I'm a gamer too? Shit's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Hip hop rap is still king. Them shit talking about hip hop aren't going to change anything about hip hop. No, because what they didn't like is that when hip hop came now, this hip hop now is totally different. I'm too old for some of it because it ain't resonating with me. But when hip hop came up in its infancy, they were talking about shit that they didn't want people to know about. Hip hop was bringing out the story that people outside in suburbia or out in other parts of the world didn't know what was going on in the United States. And that made the United States look bad. Like, what? There's people out there suppressed like other places across the world? Everybody thought that back in the 80s that Americans lived like J.R. Ewing, like everybody was living like that. Hell no. But when you listen to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and you hearing, I'm close to the edge, bro, that shit hit hard, like, man. And then when you get further and then you listening to what's going on with the drug game and from E40s or just from what happened on the East Coast, and then listening to the intellectual stuff from Coogee Rap Polo, even though he's kind of on some, or a Gangstar and all that stuff. Like, there was so much variations of, and then you had like your more popish hip hop, which was the Run DMCs and stuff like that. Man, it was so diverse, from the Arrested Developments to the NWAs to the Too Shorts to the, to the Dale the Funky Homo Sapien and Bahamadia and all that intellectual rap to conscious rap to gangster rap. Like, there was so much. It's not that much of a difference now. That's why I'm not feeling it, because I don't get the same type of stuff where I can sit there and I might want to listen to some hard shit, and then but it's all like, it's all the same. They're all talking about the same bullshit. And it's like, what? Oh, okay. The beat's tight though. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still, it's like that with gaming. They think that he just singled out a whole group of people because he did not want to touch on, and he is the person, he is the director of health. He is in charge of the health department. And instead of him wanting to sit here and keep it real about his crazy ass thought process about how vaccines are dangerous, like, probably, like, if you want to do a study, you want to go to the board and have a conversation about all vaccines, sure, go ahead and do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But then he's not going to like the studies. I mean, Little personal thing. When my mom was sick, it was right in the when she was not at her worst when she passed last year, but at one point really really bad. It happened around COVID, and so I had to go into the hospital. I went to the hospital every day, to see her or whatever. And so, I seen the trucks. I seen the trucks of people stuff into the truck dying. I heard the screams. I've heard the people upset because they didn't wear a mask and they choking out because my mom's floor was on the 5th floor. But every time that I had to come down to do something, because if they needed to check her out or something like that, I would just go downstairs and I would go give me something to drink or something like that. And I'm right down there at the ER, and I'm listening to people tripping out, choking out because of COVID. Wildest shit I've ever seen or heard. That's why I'm like, bro, it was no. And then what was the saddest part to me was the nurses that were getting decimated, that were tired out, that was floored because they were like, if people wear a mask, if people would just show a little compassion for others. But you would hear those people that would be down there, I ain't wearing no mask, I'm fine, coughing out his damn lungs. I'm tripping out. They gotta hold somebody down to sit there and because there was one day this woman wanted to fight the nurse because she says we got to isolate him because he has COVID and we have to protect other patients. And she caused a fight with the nurses and staff. They had to take her on. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have to believe in the vaccines or anything of that nature, but I seen it. I seen it. I've listened and I heard and I've seen those people die. So it doesn't matter what some fool will say, they ain't been nowhere near it, and will come out and they'll say, I don't care, I got my American rights to sit there. And you do. You do. But if you harm somebody, you should be criminalized to the utmost degree. So when you got RFK over here talking about no vaccines for polio and all this stuff, and then polio is coming back and kids is dying, and he want to talk about gamers, what are we doing? What are we doing? I like I said, it's a mad world right now. We'll see how this plays out, but it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you said there's no such thing as Gen Z rap. I don't know what this new rap is called. I really don't. So yeah, that's crazy to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know why they can't just hold on to just, stand firm on what you're saying, but why you got to blame everybody else? Gamers got nothing to do with what's going on here. We all know, who has common sense, why we have these mass shootings like that. There are people that are mentally unchallenged, and these damn guns that are just wildly going where people are not getting vetted enough. If you're looking to get a crazy weapon, you gotta, hey, we're gonna hold this. You'll get it tomorrow, next week, whatever. We just gotta, go through a process. If you need that gun that quick, after being vetted, if you over here acting a fool because you need this gun, then there might be some problems. You know what I mean? So listen, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Anyway, let's get to the last part, which is going to be the talking about PlayStation's 30 years old. So now, what Husky say? He said, what did Husky say? Yeah, these moves are just stoking revolutionary fire. It is. It really is. Yeah. He says they're now rappers. They're all he said they're all mouth movers. No, there's still some really good rappers out there. It just I don't you know it it a lot of it comes. I mean, because I'm listening to stuff. My son listen to some stuff, and I feel a little bit of it. A lot of it I don't. But there'll be some songs that have some quality bars. There's just some other shit though that you're right. They're just saying, just repeating the same thing, and then it's all this zip zip. Brr, brr. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. All right. let me go ahead and get back to this. Let me get back to this old stuff right here. Yeah, man, because listen, I'm had enough of this zing zing bring bop bop za. I'm like, nah, man. No. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. PlayStation's 30th. Okay, so if you haven't heard me say this before, the PlayStation 1 is my favorite console of all time. The 360 is right on its neck of being my favorite console of all time. Then it will go move down to the Dreamcast. Xbox One, NES. No. Yeah, no, NES. Then the Sega Genesis. Uh, then I might have to look into. Oh no, I forgot. Okay, hold on. Let me back that up. OG Xbox. Let me back that up. OG Xbox. Then PlayStation 2. Then it's the Xbox One. I can't disrespect the PlayStation 2 like that. But it was the OG Xbox that got me off of PlayStation. That got me to say, look, this is insane. So yeah, it's the OG Xbox, not the Xbox One. It's the OG Xbox, then it's PlayStation 2. And then we can move it to maybe then we move it down to the NES and then the Xbox One. I got to show love to the NES. So what's up, Fahim? What you over doing the question marks for? Oh, because I said the PlayStation 1 is my favorite console of all time. Yeah, but anyway, no, it is my favorite console of all time. I had so many great memories with that console. Even though I've told the story, I've went through 10 of those bastards. And thank God for the homeboy that worked at KB Toy Store that I could just send them to him and he just put them in the back. KB Toy Store ain't around no more, so he's safe. But yeah, I mean, I would lose my mind. Like, man, no, this stupid ass PlayStation is tripping out. I'm pulling it upside down. I'm over here putting there was supposed to be a little drop of something solution or something that you put on the eye. I've read and heard rumors of everything, and maybe with some of those rumors I've messed up maybe a PlayStation or two. But man, them things went out like crazy. Yeah, no, the PlayStation 1 over the 360, man. Like I said, by a small margin, very small margin. But it's the experiences. I've had great experiences with the 360. Don't get that twisted. I mean, I still play lips and I went and I bought me some, and I showed a picture of me when I was out there in Michigan, and I bought some more 360 games, and then I got me some OG Xbox games. I was hoping that they were backwards compatible to work on the 360, but they weren't. So anyway, but seen it and got the other Dance Centrals, and I'm just building my 360 library again. Like I love the 360. But the the PlayStation 1 showed me a different level of gaming from a community. So like with the Sega Genesis, with the NES, I played a Super. I didn't have the Super NES until I played it with friends or a neighbor's house or whatever. But I didn't get one for myself until later, until I had kids. So until I had my daughter, I should say. So, and I mean, I was all about Sega Genesis at that time. when the NES came out anyway. And then the Sega Saturn. Um, but PlayStation was the console that got me off the Sega. Like I had to make a choice. Like, man, I want the Saturn, but the Saturn costs more and PlayStation costs less. I'm like, man, and then my homeboy had who passed, Freddie B. He said, man, I got a PlayStation, man. I said, what? He says, yeah, I got a PlayStation for Christmas. I said, word, all right. He says, man, I got this football game. I got this fighting game. And he says, man, I got this racing game. I said, okay, cool. Let's go. I'll check it out. Right. I get up there, man. First game we played was game day football, 989. I now you could probably look at that game now. I mean, you sliding all over like you playing ice hockey, but bro, them graphics, all that was popping. And I'm like, yo, this shit is better than Madden, bro. Like, he's like, man, I know. Like, I'm like, oh my God. So we played that for hours. Then he put in Tekken. Number one, Tekken. That was it. I didn't even care about the racing game. I played the racing game. Hell, I can't even tell you what the racing game was. I just remember it was a racing game. I didn't care about that. I said, man, take that shit out and put that Tekken back in. That was it. I was like, yo. I said, man, all right. So then I went to this little game store and when I got I was finally making my decision. I had enough of both. But I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get that PlayStation. And so dude was like, what? You know, because I'm always up in that little shop, man, buying Sega stuff. So he just knew I was gonna get that Saturn, and I was like, no, I'll pick up that Saturn later, man. I said, but man, I'm gonna try this PlayStation. I said, man, I played some games on there, and so he says, what games you playing? I told him, and he was like, man, really? He says, he said, there's this one game too. A lot of people have been talking about. It's called Wipeout, and I'm like, Wipeout, all right. And so I went ahead and I got Wipeout. I got Tekken, and I got was it Jumpin' Jack Flash? I think Jumpin' Jack Flash was around at that time. I did get Jumpin' Jack Flash, but I'm old. I kind of got times mixed up a little bit when the games came released. But I know it was Tekken and Wipeout. And so, shut up! Are you serious, Big Bad Mo? Whoa! What up with your parish? Are you serious that you saying that Charlie Kirk didn't make it? Shut up. Hold up. Oh man, where my phone is? Yo. Uh oh damn, and now my wife is sending me talking about um pretty much her auntie, like I was bringing up in the song. Oh man, that her organs are failing. God damn, like I said, there's so much shit going on. Oh man. So she ain't paying attention to this stuff because I thought that's what hold on. I'll get back to that conversation. Hold on, y'all got me going on here looking on social media right fast. Man, I don't care about Nintendo's Direct. I need to know what's going on. Damn. Right here, I'm looking at it. It says breaking news: conservative activist Charlie Kirk has died from being shot at an event in Utah. That's just as bad. Wow. Iowa and Utah ain't too different. And you know what? You know what I'm saying? Don lives out there in Utah. It's like I said. Are we going to still talk about thoughts and prayers? Or are they going to start talking about getting to action? It is dangerous out here. This hateful rhetoric has to stop. Damn. 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 Anyway, let me finish this. And then get out of here. So anyway, the PlayStation One, got it. We played it, and so me and my homeboy Roderick, we playing the hell out of it of Wipeout. Like, it reminded me of F-Zero from Nintendo, but just better. The music, what I'm saying, and that was my first time ever getting really. Well, I mean, I listened to your, like your rhythmics and stuff like that when I was younger, but like Prodigy, like not the rapper Prodigy, but the techno group, right? That got me into that whole techno scene, listening to like, whoa, what is this? Man, soundtrack was popping. Then there was Jet Moto, and then it's anyway. But the PlayStation brought a whole different element that I never experienced before. Like, I mean, you had friends that would come over, we would play on Genesis or on Nintendo, but it would be just like 1-2 people. With me, I mean, like I'm a young adult. I mean, I'm still like what 19, and I get out. I got my own place, and I'm playing Resident Evil. I'll never forget this. We playing the first Resident Evil, and we about to all talking about going to the club. And yeah, I could sneak in at 19 in the club. I know it's 21 and up, but I could still sneak in. I looked older. So anyway, I'm talking about going to the club. Well, got the it was a little apartment complex, and so we all knew each other. Not everybody in the apartment, but most. And so there was a lot of us that wanted to, getting ready to go. We all cool and stuff. And so anyway, I'm sitting there, so drinking, kicking it, and I'm playing Resident Evil, and they're like, man, what is this? And then, man, I got an apartment full of people wilding out over Resident Evil. Like, don't go in that door, don't go there. And then the puzzles and everything, and people trying to figure it out. I never had no experience like that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had those experiences by myself, writing stuff down, calculating. My mom didn't care about that type of stuff. Or, the friends that I would come over to play when I was younger, we're playing, something, we're playing like Madden or something like that. But that was different. And then it just turned into like, when I did start playing Madden in 989 and together, and well, not together, but then like, you got NBA Live, and you got all these other just tons of games. And then I finally introduced myself to JRPGs, and Wild Arms was I played games, but didn't really understand them enough. JRPGs on Sega, on the Sega Genesis. But Wild Arms was the first actual game that I beat. That was a JRPG. And then it moved on to Xenogears, and then Final Fantasy VII. And that took me a year to beat Final Fantasy VII. I mean, because work, taking care of my son, all that, other responsibilities. But it took me a year to beat Final Fantasy VII. And I mean, just the experience of just so many games, Battle Arena Toshinden, Tomb Raider, just mind-boggling amount of games. So, and just like the 3D fighting era, you got Tabal, you got Street Fighter EX, you got all these. It was a fighter's dream for me. And then just everything else, it introduced me to more genre of games that I've ever experienced. So the PlayStation 1 is near and dear to my heart. And like I said, it built a community that I never experienced before. So that's why the PlayStation 1 is so near and dear to me. And like I said, I always will have love for PlayStation. I will always sit there and acknowledge PlayStation. It's just not the same for me anymore. It's just more, it's moved away from what I loved about it, and from my perspective. But I'm still happy that PlayStation is here. I'm glad I would love to see some of those games, Mark of the Decree and all those games make return. Dark Cloud. There were so many classics. Like, I'm like, PlayStation, you sitting on treasure trove. What are you doing? But again, the business is the business. And if it ain't making that type of money, I guess it doesn't matter. But there was just so many classics, and like, oh my God, Ridge Racer 4, one of the best music soundtracks ever to me. ever. I love Ridge Racer 4 soundtrack. I enjoyed the game too, but the soundtrack is what made it even greater to me. And then there was, the granddaddy of the racer sims to me, the Gran Turismo. Like that shit hit different. Gran Turismo 1 and 2 hit different. So I had so many great experiences with the PlayStation 1. And then when I got to the PlayStation 2, I mean, we're talking about now, I'm true adulting, like, working a lot of hours, doing all this and that, but I'm still having time to game, but it just didn't feel the same. It almost got to that phase where you get in life where you're kind of like, well, maybe I might be a little bit too old for it. And then that's when because the Dreamcast was before that was the Dreamcast got me hyped, but then they stopped making games for the Dreamcast. So then that kind of done it. So I'm back on the PlayStation 2, and then that's when the OG Xbox. And I played the OG Xbox at the end of its life cycle because like a year later, the 360 came out. So the Xbox changed my whole perspective of gaming and got the love back again. So, and so now that's why I'm like, just like, you know what? I'm here on Xbox. I'm good. I don't see any other console or anything like that changing my perspective. Like the 360, like Xbox did, but PlayStation definitely kept my love for gaming going, and that's why I'm shout out to PlayStation for the 30 years. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, Gran Turismo, man, Gran Turismo 1. Now, Gran Turismo 3 was the best Gran Turismo in my opinion. But Gran Turismo 1 and 2, Lord have mercy, man. Kuji, oh man, I had so many games, and then I started to learn how to. I met my Korean homeboy, and he worked at a game store. He knew how to make modded PlayStations. Oh my God, bro, that changed the game there. That changed the game because I'm playing games that, hell, I don't even know the language, but I'm sitting here like, these games is dope. So I was like, and there were some games I could play. There were some games I couldn't play because of the language barrier, because there were some RPGs that look pretty dope, but them fighting games and you play them DBZ games and some of those games that you couldn't play in the United States, man, Utah. And one of the games that got canceled that you could play on the mod was Thrill Kill. I don't know how many people got a chance to play Thrill Kill, but I still have a ISO for Thrill Kill. So, and I'm always gonna hold on to it because that game was crazy. That game was crazy. That game could definitely pass now these days because there's really no there's so many R-rated games out there now, but Thrill Kill was nuts. Let's see. KI is fantastic. No question. No question. So South Park and Simpsons are cursed. Oh man, people who get cartoon version of themselves. Oh man, I don't know. That's crazy. You think Mortal Kombat's king? Mortal Kombat's great. It is. Yeah, I love Mortal Kombat. I mean, but there was some fighter Battle Arena Toshinden is always going to be one of my favorites. I wanted to see, and I didn't know because you kind of thought these games would be here forever. I wish I still held on to the games that got discontinued. I'm gonna have to look for that. What was it? Gran Turismo 3 or Gran Turismo 4? I mean, not Gran Turismo 4. I'm talking about a Battle Arena Toshinden 3 or 4. They had so many characters, but they had Michael Jackson like character in there. Wild, bro. Man, had so much fun. Had so much fun playing so many games. And I'm glad now that the Capcom collection is bringing some of these games back because I can get to play Star Gladiator, and Rival Schools and stuff like that. But man, there was just so many memorable games that I played on the PlayStation 1. And like I said, the PlayStation 5 is not the best with content. But hopefully the PlayStation 6 will kick in gear and come hot off the press. But I'm glad PlayStation's still here. There's no question about that. I mean, we need the big three as long as the big three don't try to act all wild like what Nintendo's doing and try to do something crazy by trying to block other developers and studios from making some solid content, because I'm telling you, that's dangerous stuff. But anyway, it's 4:21. I have been yapping long enough. I'm finna go ahead and get out of here. I do appreciate you guys so much. Oh yeah, bloody roar. We need a bloody roar. We need another bloody roar. We do. uh oh yeah, no, I that's why I'm hoping I'm hoping Microsoft is well, I do believe that they're working on it. I think that, they ain't gonna say nothing until they're almost done with it. And I'm thinking that the new Killer Instinct will be Xbox, a new Xbox like launch title. It would make sense. It was kind of like what they did with the Xbox One. So, Big Bad Mo. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much. Man, lot happened today. A lot of crazy discussions. I'm finna go in here and I'm finna read all about this crazy stuff that's going on. Man, unfortunate. We'll just see who was the perpetrator and the fallout from it. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good one. Have a blessed one. Take care of yourselves. I'll see y'all here soon. I'll probably be back for my thoughts Thursday. I'll be looking to try to do some streaming here soon as well. So I'll see you guys later. Everybody have a good one. Peace.